Hello. Hi. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel, and today we're trying new makeup that I'm very excited about. Affordable if you count Beautypie in that realm, but new Beautypie as well as a couple drugstore things I picked up, and I'm very curious to see where this takes us, and I'm excited to see you again. So let's just go ahead and jump right in, shall we? Okay, I'm trying a different lighting tactic. This seems very true to color. Yeah, very true to color. And hello, pink nails. And also, Lily Sadooki's having a Memorial Day sale. I said that very odd, but I finally picked up the Barbie earrings because they were 25% off, and I love them. And yeah, we're gonna dive right in. We'll do a little catch up while I do skin prep. My lips are a state because it's been a little stressful, you know? So I'm going to use the Me Love Cookies. What? The Me Love Cookies Wet n Wild Lip Scrub and Mask. Although to me it's just a lip scrub. It's not a day that I could possibly wear a matte lip because they're just in a state. And one new thing I do want to talk about before I finish prepping the rest of my face is the Beauty Lip Glaze. What is this number? Did they stop numbering them? They did. This is the new Fruit Punch shade, so a really cute orangey coral. Maybe we're not quite true to color. The lighting, we're not going to have to work on it because I'm getting so much green, especially this time of day, and it's when I have to film. I took a rich lady shower after work. Anyway, back to the lip glaze. It's in Fruit Punch. To me, this smells exactly like 1990s McDonald's orange drink. They nail it with the nostalgic smells for me. And I'll do a swatch on the back of my hand, pretty thick. It does have coral pigment to it, but it's not super pigmented on the lips. I'll even go back in since I swatched a little bit there. As you can see, just a very light wash of a more orangey coral. I have to say I really love this flavor. The last two before this, Merlot and Mystery. Mystery was not terrible. Merlot was terrible. Don't get that one, but I do really like this one. 10 out of 10 on this, especially for summer. It's so cute. But as I go into my kind of typical skin prep, I'm going to just catch up for a minute. I will list and link everything down below per usual. I've also decided ahead of this that I will commit to putting the price of things down below, specifically the Beautypie products, but just know that Beautypie's prices are pretty fluid. I swear they've like increased and then decreased again. The Ceramide eye serums, which I did pick up in this last order because I'm almost out. Oh, that felt good. And actually, I'm going to spray. I meant to spray my face beforehand, and I did not. So we might like double layer the Submerge up because after my rich lady shower, I did not do skincare. And my face is like really feeling it. I can't tell you how much I needed that. And I am going to use the Beautypie Pure Ceramides Elastic Boost Rollerball Eye Serum. Just because, again, my skin. If you couldn't tell, we're going to be getting off to like a rough, slow start today because it has been a minute since I filmed. I thought, no joke, my throat was so sore Sunday night into Monday. I thought I was getting strep. Turns out it was just a major allergy attack, and it was not pleasant at all. I ended up taking a day off work to rest my voice so that I didn't completely lose it. But we're back, and I am going to do a second layer of Submerge from Phytosurgence just for a little extra oomph on the moisture front because wow, I am dry. But I'm starting to feel better, and also it is Thursday evening after work, and I really need to kind of finish up chores around the house because I also need to pack for a nice little weekend getaway, which I am really overdue for. really overdue for, to like fully unplug from YouTube work and something else that's very exciting that we'll get into. But I haven't packed, and I need to do that. And I actually might pack some of my stuff with you tomorrow, film that. So you'll probably see this before everything else. Hope you're having a great Memorial Day weekend. And I hope you have something fun planned. Oh, that was Verdant Forcefield from Phytosurgence. I am feeling cocooned in moisture. Also, this hoodie says The Muse, and it is Queen Herbie. Love the album, love her, and I just thought it was cute. I got it super oversized because some days I just wear it as a dress, you know? I'm going to skip SPF because it's evening and I'm not leaving my house. So while we let this sink in, I am working on something very, very exciting. I can't share details yet because okay, well, Frank was backing me up there. Okay, enough. Please sit down. He's staring at me, so I don't know how this is going to go. Anyway, I am working on a design project with some friends that I know, and it's going to be a garment that is geared towards helping with parenting, and that's where I'll leave it for now, but we're moving pretty quickly, so I'll be able to share more details with you at a later date. I'm so excited. It's my first foray getting back into clothing manufacturing and design, very hands-on, so I'm creating the technical sketches and all of that. Super exciting. I'm so grateful that they asked me to be a part of it, and I get to flex those muscles again. And it's so funny because it almost feels like technical sketching is riding a bike. I hadn't done it in so long, and I just picked up Adobe Illustrator and dove right in. It was so nice. And while I love YouTube and I love this project that I'm working on, I treat everything very seriously, like a job. And I work a 9 to 5, you know, so there's just a lot going on, and it's going to be a really nice weekend to kind of focus on my husband and doing fun things, and I just can't wait. But enough yapping from me. I'm torn on where to start because I did pick up 2 foundations at the drugstore that I'm very curious about, and there's a third one that they didn't have my shade in, so I'm kind of waiting and watching with bated breath. But I do want to dig into a favorite from Beautypie that I haven't used in a little while, and I really kind of want to start reaching for it again. And I'm just going to use like a fluffy blending brush because I've dug into this product so much that I can't get in there with my nails anymore. And it is their light medium shade in the Super Luminous Under Eye Genius Corrector as an under eye corrector, and I need a mirror. We're going to be using, it's going to be very Beautypie heavy, and at first I thought about just doing like a full face of Beautypie, but I'll be honest, I was just too excited about these foundations and the N Beauty that it's just going to be kind of a catch-all, and I just wiped a little bit off of my brush because I did pick up quite a bit. I'm going to get it started in the deepest part of my eye first, and then we might switch to fingers. Also, I have a small breakout there, but I have to show you, I got a breakout here that was very angry and hurt and pretty bad. That Medicate retinol really kind of kicked its butt, and it's already flattened and healing. I'm up to every other day, and I do have more dryness and a little more redness right now because I just bumped it up, but I'm really loving that product so far. Look how crazy that brightener is. I love it so much, and I'm not typically, I am going to pat it in with my finger. Not typically one that loves under eye correctors, but I do really like the Beautypie. And again, I'll list the prices down below because they change. And also note that it's going to be what I paid for these, or what they are at cost this specific date. Because I'm not going to lie, it's a little difficult to keep up. I do think today I want to try the L'Oreal True Match. The other one I have is from Uoma Beauty by Sharon C. It's their more drugstore priced line, and I'm very excited to try this. This has watermelon extract, apple starch, and lentil fruit. Available in 6 unique formulations. This is formulated for very fair skin. Long-lasting, transfer-proof, soft, radiant, natural finish. It's a perfecting balm, is supercharged with skincare to cater for your specific skin needs, making it the perfect skincare makeup hybrid. Vegan, dermatologic. Come on, Rachel. Dermatologist tested. There we go. And then the True Match is just a super blendable foundation. There's not a lot of information on the bottle. I'm torn. Why I am trying these is because I look at my foundations and none of them are drugstore. And I don't typically mind that because, as you've seen in the saga of the Sephora sale, the bottle of NARS lasted me a year. My Chantecaille lasts a very long time, although I have gone through one. And then I just get the little 8 Cosmetics CC cream, so that ends up being somewhat drugstore in terms of pricing, not by volume by any means, but it's not 30 however many dollars. But I didn't talk about this, but I have sticker shock about, I know it's only $2 price increase for the NARS, what is it? The NARS Hydrating, the NARS that I use. My brain's shorting out. I don't even know where it is. It's been a very long day. I know, not real YouTuber, whatever. Anyway, $50? $50? Like, Chantecaille is very expensive, but that was the first and only foundation that didn't break up with me. Once I started skin prepping with Phytosurgence, NARS became a second, and I like that it's a little bit more glam and full coverage, so I kind of go between the two, depending. I like the Rare Beauty. It's a little bit better in price, and the Merit is a little bit better in price, but man, $50. And I came across, you guys, it's going to be rough. I came across a TikTok or a YouTube video or Instagram, I don't know, some type of content where they claimed that not True Match, but the L'Oreal Serum foundation is a dupe. And I do want to try it because this is a heck of a lot more palatable. I paid $7 at Walmart for this. And the other one I think was $9. So yeah, that sounds good to me. You know what I mean? Now, I have used True Match in the past. It did get reformulated and it is now in a pump bottle, and that's why I'm curious about this. But I am kind of leaning into wanting to try the Uoma now. Mostly because the claims are on the bottle and I want to be a little bit more educated into what the reformulation of the True Match is. So let's give it a try. This also comes with a nice pump. And this one, I want to say was like $13 or $14. But again, much more palatable than $50. You know what I mean? And also, here's to hoping I got the right shade, but to my neck, that looks pretty good. It might be a smidge light, but I also am having an identity crisis in shade match, apparently, when it comes to foundation. You know? We are also today very limited on brushes, so I'm going to be busting out ones that I haven't used in a while because I do need to wash makeup brushes tomorrow, and I am going to be using Cinema Secrets for the ones that I intend on packing because that has been a lovely hack. I just get nervous that it is a very drying product, and if you're not new here, you know that I've had some of my brushes for 10 to 15 years almost, and I want them to last just as long, if not longer. All of my new and old, I just need them to survive because I am very attached to some of my old ones that they don't make anymore. That might be light. I'm feeling quite pale. But we are trying out Beautypie's new bronzer, so maybe that will help. I don't know how it's sitting on the skin. It just made me look very pink and porcelain in not a good way. Interesting. You guys, I don't know. I also picked up the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer because I did love this once upon a time, and I'm just kind of curious, like, do I still love it? But now I do not know if this color is going to be okay with this. Let's just see, that's a little darker. Oh yeah, a little darker and a lot yellow, but maybe we can. Sometimes you have to trust the process, and that Uoma was very light coverage, so I would kind of add around my nose, down my nose, and my chin, so it might help with the color a little bit. Oh, goodness, goodness, goodness. And now I'm a little nervous about even using that under my eye because it's going to be darker under my eye. We're off to a fantastic start. I will say, though, the complexion might be kind of a first, well, it is a first impression. The Beautypie products I have worn quite a few times. And I have thoughts on everything except for their nude tubing mascara. I think I'm going to try to just wear it this weekend and finalize my thoughts, but I have kind of initial thoughts. I am pale and the color is so off that it's like really bringing out the redness. Am I pale or does this match? My face is darker because of the redness. This looks like a pretty good match on camera. It looks like a good match in real life, but something about the undertone maybe is not quite right. I'm also very, very dewy. And I don't know that I love how this foundation and concealer sit on my skin compared to the other, but I'm going to continue testing these foundations and we'll do kind of a roundup in probably like a month or two because, again, $50 just... I don't want to spend $50 on my foundation right now. Even though it will last me forever, it just, I don't know. And yes, I did spend extra money by trying new foundations, but I also was very curious. So I did pick up a powder. This caught my eye at Ulta, and I just really want to try it. And it is the Wet n Wild 5-in-1 Essence Primer and Finish Powder. It says it smooths, condition, redefines pores, balances, and it is a pre and post makeup powder. And I am not doing it pre because we're not that oily. It feels super silky and it picks up a lot. Very, very silky. This is only in one shade, so maybe don't use me as a judge if it's going to be too light because I'm already very light today. It feels nice. It picks up very easily. It kicks up a little bit, but it also feels fairly lightweight. Like I don't feel too matte or dry. And I decided I'm not doing extra concealer. We're not going for a super glam look today because the rose palette that I picked up from Beautypie is, you can get more of a glam look out of it, but I think for today we'll just do something a little bit more subdued. Oh, that powder's really nice. I'll scoot in. I don't love the textures that are going on right now on my face anyway. See, this, if you've been on my channel for a while, this will give you true indication of like just how much texture is here. When there's not active breakouts, there is down here, but right around here, there's not. But I do have texture from scars. So when you do see me do close-ups of the other makeup that we try, this is a good comparison because you can really see the texture from the base products that we use. But this powder did kind of help smooth out by my nose. I think we need to continue to play with this, and I'm very excited to. That's good. And now we're going to get into the new Beautypie, which I am so excited for. Okay, so the last order I told you I got the eye serum, and then I want to try the new ACIDENZYME Exfoliating Cleanser, 2% BHA, 3% CX Papaya Enzyme Complex. My skin loves papaya. We've talked about that before. With mallow extract, SIBO Clear, which is another proprietary blend. Beautypie is like so well known for that. We break a lot of those down in some of my skincare videos if you're curious. And also oat extract. And they say that this is for the face and the body. And I'm going to double check myself here, but I want to say I went for it because it is not fragranced. Yeah, it is not fragranced. So it has, I'm only going to call out the ingredients that matter. Salicylic acid, sodium hyaluronic acid, lots of glycerin, oat kernel extract, glycerin again, papain, which is that papaya enzyme, algin, I'm going to need to look that one up, bioflavonoids, and mallow leaf extract. So yeah, I'm excited to try this. Also, this packaging is legit. Like, I love that it is even more kind of like basic than the other packaging that they have. And I like the clear so you can see how much. I'm excited to try this. I will probably use it on both face and body at some point. And then as part of their MAYPERKS, which if you don't know, they do a monthly perk. You just put in MAYPERKS in the discount code, and before they run out, obviously, if they're not out, you can still do it. There's like 2 days left in May or something. I'm probably totally wrong. I think there's like a week. Anyway, for May, it was Beautypie's Dr. Glycolic Pore Purifying Glow Toner with glycolic and multi-fruit AHAs at 10% niacinamide and soothing polysaccharides. I have not tried anything from the Dr. Glycolic line, although the 2-in-1 clay to foaming cleanser mask that I love went away, and now it came back as Dr. Glycolic Mud Mask. A lot of people say it's the same. I haven't tried it yet to be able to confirm that. I will probably only use that on my chest because things that high in glycolic and other AHAs outside of only papaya extract do not do so well on my face. However, they're a game changer on my chest. So that's where I will try that. Those two are the only things that I got in this order that I'm not going to test out. We're going to move on to Beautypie's new Awesome Bronze Gorgeous Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. I got mine in the shade Sunnyside, which is the fair shade. And I feel like this packaging looks very similar to like a Say cream bronzer or Chanel. I have owned the Chanel. I actually still have the Chanel somewhere. But that is Sunnyside. It is kind of yellow. Definitely on the yellow side, which you know I'm not like totally in love with. I'm thinking about going up a shade just to see what that would do. But I will swatch it against the cream bronzer, which I have, I believe, also in Sunnyside. Yes, so I have the powder bronzer in Sunnyside as well. Also, I love their refillable packaging, which we're going to get into because you can just, there's no popping things out from the back. You just lift at this little opening right here, and it's so easy. But there is the cream on top, powder on the bottom. You can see the powder is much more neutral. Much more neutral. I have worn this, and I didn't mind how it looked, but I also did top with Gucci a couple times, so we'll see where we get today. And I'm going to use the Beautypie Flawless Finish Complexion Brush. This was from their holiday brush kit, which is still available on the site. I love this brush kit. I would highly recommend this brush kit if you are a Beautypie member. And let's just see if we can bring some color back to this face because she's not looking well. It's honestly not bad. It's very subtle, but I just prefer a nice cream bronzer. I'm not into super peach or super yellow or orange. We need rosy or rosy peach even so that it's not too pink. My undertone, I'm very neutral with yellow to green, and the way it turns colors on me, it typically goes to orange or pink to begin with. So anything that's going to lean that way or orange, it really leans that way. And these bronzers that are super yellow tend to just look, I don't think, very at home because my skin goes red when I get sun. But The finish is super nice, and I'll talk about consistency. So from a consistency and formula standpoint, I love the cream bronzer. It's a very interesting formula because it feels pretty similar to the Chanel, kind of like a very slippy, oily cream, but it definitely has some of that silicone technology in it because when you rub it out, it feels pretty silicone-y. Honestly, it feels very similar to their SUPERCHEEK blushes, which we're going to get into next. However, let me just touch this. No, okay. Yeah, the cream blushes, the SUPERCHEEK cream blushes, they feel just a touch drier in the pot than the cream, but they're very, very, very similar in consistency and finish. So I did pick up one of the summer cream blush shades. These have shimmer in them for a highlighted cheek effect. And I got the shade Gleam Me Up, which is more of the kind of rosier, more nude shade than the super vibrant kind of peachy pink that they had. But you can see there's gold reflect in this. And I don't hate this, but it was a bold choice to put that much shimmer in it, in my opinion. So, very bold. And I'm just going to use the Katie Jane Hughes Spectrum 50, just like your typical angled blush brush to blend that out. I love the finish of these blushes. It's just, and on the cheek, it's not super apparent that there's gold shimmer, but no, it is. It is. It almost looks like there's like a gold overspray on my cheek. That's a really probably good shot of it right there. See if I can get it again. Do you see? I would prefer, like you can kind of see it in the pan. Do you see how much gold is in that? It was a choice. And this might be a choice that you enjoy. For me, not so much. They could have like toned it down 50% or more, and then I would have loved the product. This just isn't, I can't imagine what that peach looks like if this is that pink and gold. Like a flash. It's probably going to be a really nice eyeshadow if you're into pink eyeshadows. I'm typically not. But yeah, this color, I look like one of those painted dolls right now. So pale and just like bright rosy cheeks. We're going to fix it. But I wanted to show you those products by themselves. Let's see if I can get away with just adding Beautypie's powder bronzer. And if that doesn't work, we're going to just pick up Gucci because I don't want to look too crazy. Yeah, we're actually, it helped blend it. I'm going to make the same mistake twice so it's even. But we're going to grab the Gucci because it can be saved. It can be saved. Honestly, the Beautypie contour gel would probably help us out here, but everything is kind of a guess to put this look together today because I'm just playing around. And I would like one thing that I know is not going to be totally crazy, you know? And I'm even going to go up on my cheeks with that to just subdue how pink that is. Uh-oh. Frank is having a sneeze attack. He reverse sneezes from time to time. Not super common, but he does. And I'm going to have to go save him because he's my puppy. A little better. We'll see where brows and eyes get us, but I will be right back. Okay, he's okay. It scares him, I think. And he's so precious and just wants to be held afterwards. So we're back. We are back. I don't like my complexion too much, but we're going to turn it around. Let's do some brows. And maybe that will help bring, it's either going to look super contrasted and crazy, or it's going to help. I look a little bit better in person. Like this up here looks a little bit more blended, but we can always fix that with powder and setting spray. I hope you guys are doing well. This is madness. Welcome to my lightly chaotic life, you know? We're also going to try to film a video that I've never filmed before tonight, and no clue if it's even going to work in the lighting situation, all of that. It is very difficult to find areas to film. Like this one was kind of easy because I had an office and there's space for lights and the tripod and all of that. But I tried to film the try-on haul that we've been talking about with some of the stuff from Farm Rio and Varley and Express. I actually have a couple pieces from Walmart I'm dying to share with you. And a couple of the clips are good, but the lighting was wild because I tried it in a different spot than that first one I filmed. And it looks nuts. So I need to refilm like half of the outfits and then add in what I picked up at Walmart, which is really only 3 things. And we'll try again, but it is difficult. Those are super difficult because I'm not used to doing them, and it takes a lot of extra time to set them up. And I gotta be 100% honest with you, friends. I don't necessarily love trying on clothes. Not really my favorite thing to do. All right. We do need to talk about the other blush product I picked up, which is their SUPERCHEEK powder blush, and these are refillable just like the bronzers they came out with last year. So these ones are silver instead of the gold. Again, the refillable pan. I picked up the shade Electric Valentine, which I'm very excited about. This is going to be less fuchsia than that Giorgio Armani one that I picked up. And these are also a matte finish. So let me just give a swatch. There is a decent amount of blue. It's like a blue bubblegum pink, whereas the Giorgio Armani that I picked up is much more purpley fuchsia. I am excited to try this. It is deeper than like the Dior Glow and all of that, which I'm totally fine with. As much as I kind of want to try those, the pH balancing aspect, that's where they lose me every time. I also picked up a more nude shade that was right in front of my face this whole time. I didn't see that they're selling just the refills yet, but they're magnetic, so you could easily pop this into another palette that you have. But this is the shade Currant Mood. Much more subdued. This might actually help us out a lot today. So there's Currant Mood. Yeah. And this is much lighter in pigmentation too. I did 2 kind of swipes there. This might help us. Let's try it. Again, on that Katie Jane Hughes spectrum. Okay. Could be our greatest mistake. Or the best thing we could have done, because the palette is much more kind of rosy than it is pink. So I do think we need help. I think it helped. I'm very blushy, but if you're not new here, you know that we look real blushy and crazy before the eyes. So I don't have a lot of contrast around my eyes, and that's what I like to add. So it kind of helps everything look more at home, but I do want to go over this with a little bit of that Wet n Wild powder. Always comes together, you know? Just gotta keep tweaking. I don't love how hard this is to open with nails. There we go. Really just want it like kind of around this area, just to help kind of blend that in a little bit better. Yeah, we're rolling with it. Okay. Let's get into eyes. I am very excited about this eye palette and this mascara. So I did pick up the new Deluxe Eyeshadow Quad. This is in, I think they just call it Rose. They just have numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4, but you can see I've already been playing with this. It looks, beware, this looks a lot cooler on the website, which honestly is how I find all their colors. If you think you're getting something cool, at best you're getting neutral, kind of like this blush. This is probably the coolest leaning blush they've ever made for sure. Anyway, I will swatch these, and then I do want to do a comparison against another palette that as soon as I got this in, instantly made me think of. And it is going to be different in terms of formula, but the colors, I think, are what's going to be the same. This is the same formula as the Patty Dubreuil eyeshadow formula that we got for Christmas, and then also the James Malloy, the first quads that they did. I see no difference in formula. I really like the formula. It's just a matter if you find the right color combination for you. This is going to be such a good comparison. And I haven't swatched this next to each other yet, so I'm curious. But I wanted to swatch it against the Makeup by Mario Nudes Quad in 1. You can see I'm really digging into a lot of these shades. I love this palette. Here's the comparison. So Current Mood, the blush is right here for reference. And this side is the Beautypie, so it has this nice peachy matte, a very shimmery beige gold, a matte deep chocolate brown that almost leans gray, and then a beautiful rose gold shimmer. In the Makeup by Mario, the matte is a little bit more dustier, a lot a bit more dustier actually. Then the lightest shade is more of like a satin, closer to a matte, very light bone shade. Then we have the shimmer that is, it is warm, but it's a nice brown that has like a little bit of copperiness to it. And then the last shimmer shade is like a very peachy gold. They complement each other very well. Like I could see this being a palette. But if you're not a Beautypie member and you kind of dig the color story of the Beautypie, might I suggest Makeup by Mario? I use the Makeup by Mario all the time. I really like how they did the shades. I like the matte light shade for my inner corner. The Dusty Rose is one of my favorite crease colors. And then I like to put that other shimmery shade all over the lid and deepen it up with this other shimmer shade. But look, you can kind of tell the texture and the impact of the Beautypie one is just not comparable to the Makeup by Mario. But these quads from Makeup by Mario, I find don't have the same intensity of the special shades that his Ethereal Eyes palette has. And I have not tried his big shimmer palette, but I wanted to share that because that's the thought that immediately came to mind. And now let's apply this to my eyes because I do really like it. All right, starting with a Rephr 27 brush, just a fluffy blending brush, I'm going to go into the rose shade, the matte, and we're going to start that in the crease. This formula is a little bit powdery, and the super shiny shade that will apply all over the lid can be a little bit crumbly and textured, but it does smooth out, especially with a brush or finger. So don't let that scare you. But see, it's very peachy, and we're so pink on the cheeks. That's what happens when you wing it, you know, with things that you have not tried before. I have worn this cream shade in Gleam Me Up with this palette, and it works because there's so much gold in that blush, but I just don't like that much gold on my cheek. I am going to go in then with a flat shader brush with the lightest shimmer shade here, and we're going to do that in the inner corner and the inner third of the lid. And this shadow is much smoother than the next shadow that we're going to use. It's a slightly different formula. This is kind of like a true shimmer. And the next one is like a cross between a celestial shade and a foil. But it is very beautiful. And while this is not like a super brightening shade when it's not hitting the light, when it does hit the light, it does give me brightness in that inner corner that I like. I am going to use a finger with this next shade because I just find that it works better with that formula. And without showing the underside of my nail, I hope that you can kind of see the texture. I keep my nails clean though. They're clean. There you go. You can see the texture, but it's going to smooth out on the eyes quite a bit. Just don't pick up too much or you will have some kind of fall down on your cheek like I just did. But this is a beautiful shade. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. And I'll show you kind of the aftermath of the palette too. This almost has like glitter in it, but it's not a full glitter. It's a very interesting texture. It's almost like a dry powder version of the Victoria Beckham potted shades, because there is texture that you can see there in a good way. But I do like it. I really like it. And then I'm going to go back in with the pencil brush we used on the inner corner, and we are just going to go into that deepest matte shade. I am going to tap off because these will give you fallout, and I'm just going to build along the lash line. The deep mattes in all of these Beautypie quads are super, super nice, pigmented, easily kind of smoked out, but they are kind of the type that is going to give you fallout. It just is. But I like those shades because they're so pigmented. They add so much smokiness with minimal effort. I don't mind it, but just know that going into it. And I'm just kind of winging it out in the outer corner. And then we'll go back in with a little tiny dab of that rosy shade and just kind of fluff over the darker shade. And I have been bringing my eyeshadow out further ever since that Vengeful Green Goddess video, and I have to say, I'm a fan. There she is. I cannot get over how pale I am. I really like it. Before we add any more bronzer, I do want to talk about the Beautypie Wrap Star Tubing Mascara. I have been using this for about a week. Same with the bronzer, the blush, and the eyeshadows, and the lip product that we'll get into. But I know a couple of you, we've talked in the comments, you really like this formula. I don't know yet. And that is totally my preference in mascara. The performance side of things is beautiful. It does not flake. It does not kind of break apart throughout the day like some tubing mascaras actually do. And it does remove very well at the end of the day. It has a very interesting DNA shaped brush. If you can see that, kind of wraps around. But it does have the style of bristles that I like, which is kind of like these, they're not hair, it's like plastic still, but it's not the spiky cone shaped bristles. It's like an old school bristle brush. And right now it only comes in the shade black, which most tubing mascaras do. Thrive is just the best, you know? And some people have said that they like this more than the Thrive. What I have found is the formula is much more lightweight. You definitely can build it up, and if you're into curling your lashes, because this is lightweight, it's going to keep the lashes curled and up, whereas the Thrive is much heavier of a formula. I would even say that this is a lighter, more buildable formula than the L'Oreal. That could change, and they could even out a little bit once this formula dries up, and I think that's why I'm reserving a final say on this, because I like a little bit more chunky volume in my lash than what this gives. So I'll give you a side-by-side. It is very nice. It does give you a wispy, lengthened, definely separated lash, and it is nice. I did not curl my lashes. I can't be bothered. And I do like it. The comb, I feel, might be a little gimmicky. I would have preferred just like a big fat bristle brush. But again, that's my preference. And also, I need to pop the price up on the screen. If this is like half of what Thrive costs, okay, potentially. But for a lighter weight formula, I just wish L'Oreal would not discontinue that mascara. If any of you know the status of that mascara, let me know. The L'Oreal Age Perfect tubing one. I need to look. I think I have one more backup of it. but I've had no problem purchasing it up until this exact point. But there you go. I like it. It looks nice. That definitely helps with the contrast of things. Like I said, it would on my face. Sometimes you gotta trust the process. Like I said, it's been a long day. We're just trying to get through. I am still going to add a little bit more of the Gucci bronzer, especially up on my forehead. I don't want to look like I have a bronzer helmet, but I don't think I like being this pale. Although it does look like it matches, it's too light. It's also allowing all of this redness to peek through in a very unflattering way. I think the Uoma is not for me, at least in that shade. So we tried it. It's going kind of in the fails basket for now, because usually if a foundation texture-wise doesn't work for me right off the bat, it's hard to get me to continue to try it. And you guys have seen the same close-up, no filter, no nothing, and I do not have that much texture showing with some of the other products that I use. And because of my skin needs, I'm not changing my skin prep to suit a product when I already have products that work. All right, let's talk about lips. I picked up 2 lips, but I wanted to just remind everybody that Sunhazed is back from last summer. I love this shade. They need to make it permanent. It's just a nice kind of caramel nude. Very, very flattering. It's a little bit deep, like a mid-tone nude on me. It's not like a pale lip nude by any stretch. But then for this year, they came out with 2 more shades. One was much more rosy, which honestly would probably go with my cheeks better today. But I picked up Peach Nectar, or Naked Peach. Naked Peach on the bottom there, and it goes really well with the eyeshadow quad that we used. And then I also bought the Shine Up Luxe Lip Color Balm in the shade Love, 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 because I don't have this formula in a nude, and I love this formula. It is like a tinted balm, and it's just lovely in a crayon form. I love everything about it, and this, I think I'm going to love it. Almost looks like it would be smack dab in the middle of those 2 lip oils with a touch of coolness. I'm going to love it. I already know. But for today, I am going to wipe off the N Beauty, which did help my lips, and I'm going to pop on the Naked Peach shade. And we're not lining today. I'm just not into it, you know? These are so jelly slippy, not quite as jelly as Fitglow, but thinner than the N Beauty even, but with a gel-like finish. And they are very moisturizing. They smell deliciously of like vanilla marshmallows. That's Naked Peach. Just a nice little touch. Is this my favorite makeup look that I've ever done? Absolutely not. Have I combed my hair out of the shower? Absolutely not. Does the whole vibe go together? No. I'm usually one for the details. At least my nails match my accessories. The best you're going to get today. I hope you're having a great week. If you're struggling with allergies, just know I really feel you. All of my friends texted me this week asking if I was dying because they're dying too. And it's just been like not a great week for allergies. So if you're struggling, a lot of us are right there with you. I'm going to finish with Fix Plus, and then we'll come back and do a round robin of the products that we used today. And we can talk allergies more if you want. Let me know down in the comments. Okay, I feel like I needed the Fix Plus more from like a hydration standpoint, so let's round robin while that dries. The Uoma Flawless in Real Life Skin Perfecting Foundation. The color I'm not a fan of, and the texture I'm not a fan of. So I'm probably going to pass this to a friend because I already have foundations that work, and I know it's only a first impression, but I don't like the texture, and we need to just recognize that there are times in a first impression that you know if you're willing to fuss with it or not. I am not willing to fuss with it. Very excited to try True Match though, because I do remember loving this. However, that was before my skin was textured and older. So very excited to jump into that. Will be jumping into the Serum foundation when I get my hands on the right shade. e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I actually really don't mind it. It's not the worst. And I'm going to continue to play with that. However, nothing's going to dethrone Rose Inc and the Givenchy for me, you know? So it's nice. I like that I have a drugstore recommendation to give to you based on a lot of you having the same type or color of skin as me. More so type of skin, that kind of dry reactive. This is in the shade Fair Warm. I don't know if I said that before, but I do really like that one. And that shade works for me when I'm not wearing a very, very light foundation. It looks right on camera, but it's not. I promise you it's not. I just look like unreal on my chin where I didn't add any bronzer or anything. Like, it's too light. We got to split the difference between this and Mont Blanc, which is pretty much Siberia. I'm ranting. Very excited to try the foundation. Love the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Not a fan of the Uoma. Not going to revisit it. Brows are the typical products, Benefit Pencil and Merit Brow Pomade. The Beautypie Awesome Bronze Gorgeous Sun-Kissed Bronzing Cream. Made in Italy. You get 0.30 grams, or no, you get 30 grams, 1.05 fluid ounces. I do really like this. If it's going to have the undertone that you prefer, it's a very nice product. It does look very nice and smoothing on the skin. It's just not the right shade for me. I might try another shade because I do like this product, but I gotta be honest, it's going up against the Makeup by Mario Soft Sculpt Transforming Skin Enhancer. I'm panning that one, and I think I like it better than this, mostly because of the color. So it's a good formula, but the color is not for me. I really like the powder bronzer. This is a very smoothing formula, but again, the Gucci color-wise is better for me, so I don't end up reaching for this that much. The Beautypie powder blushes are fantastic, and I am so happy that they expanded the shade range, and it includes things that might skew a little bit more neutral to cool. We need that. I cannot wait to bust into this pink shade. I'm in a very pink mood as of late, so we will absolutely dive into that. I cannot wait. I mean, yes, please. We'll do a Barbie-inspired look for the movie. How about that? And then Currant Mood is a beautiful shade. I will pick this up and use it very often. I love their powder formula. It's just the colors they got to get right, and they got these colors right. The new Shimmery Cream blushes for summer. Unless you like a flash of gold, I would pass. Because it's not just shimmer throughout. You're going to get a flash of gold. Do you see that? No. That's heavier in gold reflect than NARS Orgasm. And even covered with powder, you still get a decent amount of it. So I pass on these unless you like that look. Or unless you want to use it as eyeshadow. Like, I'm just telling you how I feel, you know? The collagen lip oils, the WONDERGLOSS collagen lip oils. These are fantastic, and the summer shades are always their best shades. We've got Naked Peach and Sunhazed. I am almost through my Sunhazed one. It's gotten shaken up, but I'm like, oh yeah, let me show you. I'm like scraping the sides down. I will probably pick up a backup because I'm going to go through this summer for sure. What else we got? The eyeshadow quad, I really love it, especially if this is your color story. It's almost like a beautiful summer sunset. I like it. I will use it. I'm happy I have it, but I still think my favorite quad is the brown one from Christmas, I have to say. Then the, what is this? Wrap Star Tubing Mascara. Yeah, it's good. It performs. It performs better than the other tubing mascaras that I've tried, like the Ulta, like the Cali Ray, like the Essence. Those just didn't they either flaked and fell apart before the end of the day, or the removal was bad, or they just made my lashes look like womp womp. This product, excuse me, does give me a little bit of lift. It definitely separates and lengthens, and I do like it. It is a good wispy mascara, and if I view this in a standpoint of like, I like having a wispy mascara from time to time. Right now I'm working through the CoverGirl one, and it's kind of cool that I can stay with a tubing mascara formula and have a wispy formula and a more chunky formula like the Thrive or the L'Oreal. But I also secretly hope that this gets a little chunkier as it dries out. So I'm going to continue to use that one, and we'll stick to it. Honestly, the Wet n Wild powder, I really like this. I cannot wait to try this with my typical foundation and concealer routine. I think that this might be an even better dupe of a product for the Westman Atelier than the Well People, and it is a quarter of the cost of the Well People, and it is a tenth of the cost of the Westman Atelier. So that is super cool. Obviously, you're going to miss out on packaging. Well People is even packaged much nicer than this, but hey, sometimes if you want to save, it's worth it. Also, you could probably depot this. Anyway, the only two products I just will not recommend is probably the Uoma if you have similar skin type to me. Love the thought behind it though. And then also this cream blush. Not for me. Not for me. This look is growing on me, especially if I didn't deck myself out in hot fuchsia pink today, you know? But that's the way the cookie crumbled. So I hope you're having a great day. I hope this was like not too unbearable to sit through. I will be pre-filming in the next few days to make sure that we have something going up, because I do have some trips planned this month, weekend and kind of longer trips. So we'll make sure that we have some pattern and stability on the channel. I hope you've been doing well. Also, if you're new here, we have over 100 videos on this channel for you to go and hang out with me at any time. The older ones, you know, bear with the audio. And yeah, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy I'm back. I cannot wait to talk to you in the comments when this gets posted tomorrow. I've been missing that. So I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye.